If you ran really fast, what would you do with that power?
Run really fast.
No, but like, what would you do with it?
Olympics.
Go to sleep.
Marathon.
So you would cheat.
No, you know what? Realistically, I'd probably just use it for shit like
Why is that cheating?
like lying in when I have to be somewhere at a certain time. So I just, you know.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I would, like, how fast can I run?
You set this up.
Okay, let's say it's like Sonic speed. Speed of sound.
Think. So can cameras catch you, like at that speed?
At the speed of sound? I don't know.
I would run so fast. I would run into a McDonald's, eat all the food, and then run out.
Do you know what? I feel like that.
You can't eat at the speed of sound.
No, I'd grab it all and run.
You'd grab it all because you've eaten too much and vomit everywhere, and then regret the decision.
Eat it, run back, put it back. Nothing ever happened.
What? But if you eat it, it's not there.
That was a joke.
Ah.
I feel like I would do things like take advantage of it. I'd be
I feel
a villain.
like you could probably save lives.
You could.
You could basically do what Sonic does and just be a
This
hero.
part's cool.
Yeah, I like this. Is there a way to glitch it?
Is there a way to what?
Glitch it.
Wow.
So that you
so
fall
my
down
God.
instead of run.
I got hit. I got 0 rings. Oh no.
No.
Wow.
Not today.
This is awesome.
Oh man, I found out about a film. Oh shit, I just forgot the name of it. It's like cosmic. It's got Alan Rickman in it.
Oh God.
So many windows. Someone gets stabbed at the bottom.
There's a film that's got Alan Rickman, Tim Allen, and they're like, it's like Space Quest or something. And Alan Rickman has some
I think it's
really
called
nice...
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Well, he's in that as well, but Tim Allen isn't in Hitchhiker's Guide. But there's some really nice acting by Alan Rickman in it.
No.
And it almost made me sad.
Oh.
Alright.
I showed you as well, Loki. He's like a struggling actor, but he's also like a space alien person.
I'm trying to remember, but I don't.
He's like looking in the mirror and he's like, can't do this anymore.
Alan Rickman?
Yeah.
Oh, that does sound sad.
No,
do this anymore.
the acting was really good and it was like, it was funny but good. What made me sad is just that he's not around.
Oh.
It's like when you're watching a really good
So not
actor.
the scene itself?
No. The scene itself was good and that's just what made it kind of bittersweet.
I
Okay.
don't like watching things like that. Like I think when I found out Steve Irwin died, I never watched anything of his again because I would get really upset.
You watched Mrs. Doubtfire a few months ago with me.
Yeah,
that's another one where it's like when you watch Robin Williams, you can't not think about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like he's smiling now, but he wasn't.
Yeah, you think a lot about like, especially like Robin Williams, who was like has depression or had depression. Like you can't help but think about like
was it there?
What
like,
are they going through right now?
Yeah. I think Robin Williams is even worse than Alan Rickman because, as far as we know,
how did Alan Rickman die?
I think he just reached an age.
Oh, really?
I assume so.
Old, was he?
I don't know.
Huh. Okay. Well.
Did you know that scientifically, if you have a pet, you live 10 years longer than someone who doesn't?
Where can she be?
Because you're in a bad mood.
I guess you get less anxiety.
People who
Calming.
eat their bogies or boogers for you Americans out there are like it's it's proven that people who eat their bogies are happier.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not true.
I read it in a book. Do you eat?
I lived it.
Oh, okay.
I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
This is a lived experience I don't agree with.
Maybe maybe therapists should start recommending that.
That's genuinely something I've never done.
Is it causation?
It's just like, I guess I'm assuming it's just a thing of like they care less about how they're perceived, so they're more content and happy, I suppose.
That's fair. Look at him.
Look at him staring.
Gripping the air. That is a cool robot.
Yeah, it's a fun design.
Yeah.
It's making me think of the robot in Robots.
I haven't seen that film either.
What?
Oh, I thought
You haven't seen Robots?
No.
That's a fucking amazing film.
I have actually heard it's good.
It is really
I've heard it kind of like it has quite a like a mature story.
Yeah, it does. It's got a scary moment in it.
Right, that makes it good.
I think when kids films like throw caution to the wind and do a little scary scene, I respect that. I think we should traumatize more children with scary scenes.
My colleagues at work like asked me like, was there like a moment where you're watching a film as a kid that like that moment like traumatized you? Like for example, a lot of people had it with like Littlefoot's mum dying and stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
I never really had that like experience. Like I feel like I watched like I guess what was appropriate for my age as a kid, or none of the media I watched happened to have like a traumatizing moment.
I was gonna say I do think Land Before Time is appropriate, but I think it's also one of those things where it kind of teaches a big harsh lesson as well to kids at a young age.
I mean, I watched The Lion King as a kid, but I wasn't traumatized by that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never cried when Mufasa.
Oh, look how
passed
fabulous
away.
he is.
Who is this?
Sonic. Oh, the red thing. We don't know yet.
Red?
It's just a spirit that's guiding us at the moment.
I think there was things that like bothered me, but I don't think there was anything that I was like really shocked by.
I had so
trying to think.
I had so many conversations about death with my parents because of Land Before Time. Every time I watched it, I'd start crying. I'd be like, I don't want you both to die. And they said, well, we've got to.
Goodbye.
I think like they'd say like, well, you'll be much older by that point, so you won't feel the way you would feel now.
Wow, they just were like straight up with you, weren't they?
I think they were honest that like about death and like rather than pretending it's not a thing.
I feel like my parents probably wouldn't answer like that.
I've never had that conversation with my parents.
Yeah.
Weird.
Do you know what they probably said? Heaven. That's what like I was taught. So that was probably the response I gave.
I'm thinking about it more, and I did have films that did really scare me when I was a kid. I remember like at the end of the first Indiana Jones, like they look at like the Ark, which is like God's power.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to look at it in the film. And like the guy's like face melts off.
Yeah.
The way they did it was like it was like a clay model when they
remember.
melted it. Yeah. I found that so scary, like that imagery.
Yeah.
I didn't like look away, but I felt like I regretted looking at it. I was like, why did I look?
Yeah.
I wish I didn't see that image.
There was I didn't watch the whole film, but I when you turn the TV on and there's already a film on and you just kind of like loosely watch it. The Pee Wee Herman movie was on, and there's a scene where he's in a truck and he like
what the fuck happened there?
A woman gives him a ride because he's hitchhiking, and but it's really creepy and there's all this like weird atmosphere, and she starts telling him a story about a woman who like died on this road 20 years ago or whatever, and she says and when they pulled her body from the burning wreckage, she looked like this, and she like turns to the camera, and there's like they do claymation to make her face all like freak out and tentacles.
Oh, that does sound scary.
And I remember like
it's Tim Burton as well, so
and he
I can imagine.
screams, yeah.
Oh.
And so I remember like being really scared by that, and like I looked it up again recently, and I watched it the other day, and it made me jump still. So I was like, oh.
I'd be interested in seeing that
no
scene.
wonder
That
it's
sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, put it on screen.
I think Courage the Cowardly Dog used to freak me out.
That's like one I didn't get freaked out by. I watched it like every now and then, and it was definitely had a creepy vibe to it, but I didn't mind it.
Wait, I remember there was an episode of Samurai Jack where I think there was like yaks with noses.
Yaks.
And they were like getting captured, and they were all depressed, and they were begging him for help. I have no memory of like why they were captured, but I just remember being like really freaked out.
Actually, that does sound familiar.
Creepy?
It's the way that they're all depressed and they're in cages and they're kind of looking sad. And he's like, he talks to him and he's like, he was like, I understand if you don't want to help me, or something like that. And Samurai Jack was like really, I might be remembering it completely wrong, but I remember that really bugged me out.
That does sound familiar. There are a lot of like episodes of Samurai Jack where like some race or something is like kidnapped or or like slaves or something, and he has to like rescue them.
Oh, this is my favorite track in the game.
Really, that's quite an unconventional choice, I think.
Yeah, they sampled it from a real hip hop song.
Oh yeah, you showed me that.
Yeah. I like
This is my favorite song.
Changed it.
Yeah, this song's better.
I like. I cried. When was the first time you cried at the cinema? Because I cried at Goblet of Fire.
I cried at the Thomas the Tank Engine movie, but because I was a baby.
Oh.
So we were talking yesterday about like memories we have as a baby, and Loki wasn't convinced that we could remember stuff as a baby. That was another memory of mine as a baby. I saw the Thomas Tank Engine movie in the cinema, and I was a baby. I was way too young to be in the cinema.
When you say baby, how old do you mean?
I don't know the date of the film, but I mean we can look it up and see.
Yeah.
I'm assuming 3.
Okay.
Toddler.
I almost like don't really. I'd say like toddler. At that point.
Yeah,
Like
toddler.
baby's kind of like 0 to 2.
Newborn baby seen Thomas Tank Engine. Yeah, it's probably like 3. Whenever Diesel, the bad guy train, was on the screen, it scared me so
Do they
much.
do, like,
I started
dramatic
crying.
music?
No, he just looks scary. His face is just really scary.
I had, do you know what? There was actually scenes from the Thomas the Tank Engine show, whichever was the show at the time.
I loved the
that
show.
freaked
The
me
show
out.
didn't bother me at all. It was the film.
But which show? Was it like
The original one.
Okay. Well, there's been loads probably from like the 60s and stuff. I reckon, like, black and white
whatever
ones, but
came on in the 90s.
There's one where like Percy got stuck behind. They built a wall around him because he was being a dick to everyone. So while he was asleep in the tunnel, they built walls around either side.
I don't think they like changed the show from the original. I think it just re-aired.
Oh.
It probably was the original that like everybody watched like in the 90s.
Yeah. Well, there's one as well where one of them was going too fast and he was getting really cocky, and then he went into like snow, and then he got buried in like a.
Oh yes, I remember that too.
That was like creepy as well. Whenever something would bad would. Oh, I just remembered the most like wussy one of all. In an episode of Spot the Dog, there was one where he got pinched by a crab, and it just used to really upset. I think it did like a scary noise when it happened.
Spot's like the most comforting show. How would you be scared of that?
I used to play this game with my brother. It was like Godzilla. It was like a Godzilla fighting game, where you'd fight the different kaiju like Smash, and you could.
That ape.
It's like Tekken style, right?
Yeah, you could do like a beam at the same time at each other, and as the beam would hit at the same time, it would go woo, 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 and then it would blow up. Me and my brother used to put our controllers down, scream, and run behind the bed because he had a sofa bed, and like hide under the sofa until the explosion happened. And that was like a bonding thing we used to do.
Because the explosion scared you guys.
Yeah, and then eventually it just became like a habit. And then there was a moment of growing up where we didn't play it for a while, and then we played it, and it happened, and I was like, quick, let's run under the thing, because it was happening. It was like woo woo woo, and my brother just turned to me and went, I'm not doing that, I'm not a baby.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, and we sat there and we just watched it happen in silence, and that was the worst experience.
That was your coming of age story.
That was the coming of age story. I realised we're too old to be running away from the wub wubs of the latest thing.
That just reminded me, like, of a time in high school where like my friendship with someone like kind of like fell apart, I guess, just like naturally. But I kind of I wanted to be friends again at one point, like closer again.
Yeah.
But like clearly they kind of moved on and weren't interested in getting closer again. And I was like, but like, what about like we both like love Sonic so much? And he was like, you're the Sonic guy, Riz. I was never the Sonic guy.
Oh no.
I was like, what? It was so
It's so
sad.
dramatic.
Yeah.
You're the Sonic guy.
Yeah, he was fucking dramatic.
was
He was like one of
Luigi.
those fucking edgy people.
I think there's like, I had that kind of thing where in nursery, in primary school, which I think is, how old's that? You're like 5?
I think 3 to 4, because 4 to 5 is nursery.
Okay, well, I had this friend,
Reception, I mean, sorry.
And we used to play a lot together, and we were both kind of tomboyish.
What if he threw him out the plane?
I thought that's what was about to happen.
Get
And-
out of my plane, son.
We were on the play floor, and then we were like staring off, just talking, and then all of a sudden she just turns to me and she goes, "I don't think I want to be your friend anymore." And I was like, absolutely blindsided. I was like, "Why?" And she's like, "I feel like I want to be more girly, and you're tomboyish."
Oh.
And I was like, "No!" And I was like, "You can't do this to me."
I
And
have a
she's like,
handbag and everything.
she's like, "No, I'm doing it. I'm gonna hang out with the girls and be more girly, and I like pink things as well." And I was like, "No!" And I brought my fist back and punched her.
Oh no!
Wow.
You
No,
want pink?
I can be girly.
Look how
Punches
pink
her
my
in the
face
face.
is.
Oh yeah, and I felt really bad, and she started crying, and then I got chased around the playground by the teacher.
Chased around.
I remember thinking, "I'm so fast, they can't catch me." But they did in the end.
Oh.